The government is still spending millions looking for service providers to deliver health and social care services. These are three that have just come out that you can bid for if you meet the requirements. First, in Manchester City Council, there is the Housing Related Supported Accommodation Contract, where the council are looking for housing providers, housing and care providers that can provide accommodation and support to individuals who are recovering from substance misuse. In this tender, there's two different lots. Lot 1 is focused on individuals recovering from drug misuse, for example, and Lot 2 is specifically around individuals recovering from alcohol misuse. Within these accommodations, or within these lots, you need to supply accommodation. In Lot 1, they're looking for providers who can supply around 28 units, and Lot 2 is approximately 35 units. Now, within these units, you need to make sure that the units you're putting forward, one, it needs to be self-contained. So the units, they're not sharing, the residents or the service users are not sharing the rooms. They may share the communal facilities, but not the rooms. It needs to be self-contained. As well as that, as well as the accommodation, you're also providing support. Don't forget, they're also looking for some element of care support as well. So you need to have 24/7 appropriately staffed, trained staff within the accommodation. Again, these individuals are somewhat vulnerable, so to prevent them from, going relapsing back into the substance misuse as well, you need to provide ongoing training, even support with their independent life skills. A lot of them might have come away from that. Provide support with finding employment again, etc., etc. The residents or the council will support with the payment of the rent, the council tax, the service charge as well. But in the contract price itself, they're paying you for the delivery of the care and also a set fee for the accommodation as well. Then very similarly in London Borough of Barnet, on the Domestic Abuse Refugee Service Accommodation tender, they're looking for providers to work with young women from the age of 16 onwards, potentially also children under the age of 13, both boys and girls on a case-by-case basis, but predominantly it's going to be women over the age of 16 and onwards, to provide accommodation and support. So they're looking for approximately, or at minimum, 18 units of accommodation within London Borough of Barnet area specifically. As well as that, you will also be providing support for these women who have gone through domestic abuse, as I mentioned, within that age category. Then back in Manchester City Council, there is the Young Persons Floating Support and Resettlement Service. Here, the council are looking for providers, specifically providers who can provide support service to individuals between the age of 18 to 25. Now, there's no need to provide accommodation here because these individuals already have their own living situation, either in social housing, private rented sector, whatever the situation is, but you don't need to provide accommodation, simply the support service. There's two lots here. Lot 1 is for individuals between the age of, again, 18, predominantly to 21. It could be younger, could be older, but predominantly 18 to 21, who require low to medium support and are moving from a place of emergency or temporary accommodation towards a more independent living situation, or they're at risk of end of tenancy failure, so about to become homeless, and they need some support in that scenario. Lot 2 is specifically for LGBTQ plus in that category, for individuals between the age of 18 to 25 experiencing domestic abuse, relationship breakdown, so there's some element of mental and also mental support required in that category as well. So it's predominantly just a housing related support service, not just the accommodation, or not accommodation at all.